It's Friday. It's Friday.
Hey, it's the end of the week. It's the last day. Cheers.
Hey, how's everybody?
Cheers.
Hey.
Ebony, I love that winter Christmas lumberjack flannel giving us the flannel.
Thank you. Yes. You know, we have a cold front coming through, so I'm just trying to get ready.
Oh, what is it? Do tell. What day?
Yes.
And now for the weather.
Yeah, tomorrow is supposed to be, stormy, rainy off and on, and then we're supposed to dip a little bit on Sunday. So hopefully we'll get a little cool off.
Some cuffing weather.
A little.
Wait a minute. Speaking of that, did you all see what Miles posted? Did you all see what he put in our chat?
What?
Oh,
no.
What?
You saw it, Kendrick? I know you saw it. You saw it on social media. You saw it, didn't you?
I don't think I did.
What was it? I'm scrolling.
I know.
Right?
Look, while y'all scrolling, Ebony's talking about there's a cold front, but I see mistletoe behind Kendrick. That's what I see.
Oh.
Here it is.
There's the cuffing.
Miles said he had a meme that did a look like this. And then it said, when you realize women collectively start being nice mid-November, early December.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cody says.
Yeah. That didn't happen in my house.
No. The women are always nice in your house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Well, that's enough.
Always.
I'm trying to help you.
Right.
Yeah, no, she's consistent. My wife don't do. Listen, my wife's one of those that if she wants something, she go get it.
Period.
My kind of
girl.
Okay.
Okay. You know they say Aquarians don't ask for nothing they can't get themselves. So there's that part.
Basically,
and if she hits you with this, don't worry about it. You already know it's done. You be like,
done.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Exactly.
I got it.
Sorry.
Oh, Kendra, you know that too.
Yeah, don't even worry.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. And she say it so much it snatch your soul out of you when she say it.
Hey Roy, you watching it as it leaves your body?
Yeah, I'm like, I should have said yes.
Y'all sound traumatized.
It is dramatic.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Melinda, it's dramatic when it happens. It's emotional when she says, "Don't worry about it."
Basil.
Yes.
Basil. Next Basil.
Avatar hits movie theaters this week. When did it come out? Yesterday, right? Did anybody go and check it out?
Oh my gosh. 13 years.
Oh my goodness. I mean, have you all been waiting to see? I want to see what happened.
I mean, I can't really say that I've been waiting, but when I heard, I can tell you that I'm a little discouraged because when I heard that the movie is 3 hours and 10 minutes, my adult ADD, the way it's set up, I don't know.
The person about that long as well?
You sat through Wakanda too. You sat through the second one, and that was about 4 hours after we add up all the time.
Was Black Panther 3 hours? It wasn't 3 hours.
It was.
You're right.
I think y'all had a lot of intermissions when y'all went to see
It was like 240 something.
4 hours by the time you got done.
Yeah, the original was 252, but like 10 hours later, we're done.
Listen, because
exactly,
Kendrick
252.
and KW, they like all of those Marvel and Transformer and stuff, and those things be long. Yes. And I be telling them, listen, I might nod off and come back because I for a movie I need you to take me there, hit it and quit it,
and then make me want more.
Like I can't.
Now, see, I didn't know it was that long.
It's like it's starting off slow, and I lose interest.
I didn't know it was that long, which means that might include the one that we watch from the couch.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I'm not.
You might have to break it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not
do a mini series, do episodes.
You know what?
Right.
What's wrong with the episode?
On Netflix.
13 years later.
No,
Wait a
here's the thing. The movie has to just be good. That's the challenge. If the
12
movie's good,
episodes.
if it's good in 3 hours, doesn't seem like anything.
You're right. But
And it's probably like an hour worth of credits. So
I do want to know why the Avatar has braids, though. Can we talk about that, or is that something?
she had braids the first time.
Oh, she did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
that's
Belinda, what you want to call him,
Is
Belinda?
that Zoe's
I just wanna know.
character?
Yeah,
That's Zoe Saldana?
Saldana. Yeah, that's her.
I don't think that one is Zoe.
Oh no.
That's
Yeah,
her.
that is.
That's her.
That's her.
Yeah, that's her.
Kendrick, are you implying
Okay.
that she didn't come back?
No, I know she's back, but I think they have another female like main character as well. I think.
They have a daughter in this episode, but that was Zoe in that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I
They
thought.
introduced
I
new
know it's another
characters.
female that's a main
And maybe we'll have to
character.
wait 13 more years.
Well, I tell you, I won't be able to watch 3 hours worth.
No. No matter what's going on.
Oh, geez, golly.
If we have a snowstorm during the cold front,
Still not watching it.
still not watching it.
Yeah, that might be a bit much. And then they said that most of the movie was filmed underwater.
Water, yeah.
Right. They
And
did
then-
say that.
I was
No,
thinking,
black folk don't swim.
was that a thing? The thing? How can we have the other movie underwater Wakanda,
Right.
and this one is also underwater? Just seemed like a very big coincidence, but who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, because they had to be filming and stuff at the same time, because so
All during the pandemic.
yeah.
Let's do it underwater.
I was gonna say, look, they're doing the underwater over there.
Right.
Let's
No
do it
COVID.
too. Why
The
not?
water.
Oh yeah. that's a good
Jessica, you
point.
didn't introduce the celebrity in the middle.
Oh, 1 minute, Basil. 1 minute. Yes, welcome, Dana.
Welcome back.
Hey,
Yes,
how y'all doing?
welcome, Dana. Welcome. So please bring us up to speed on all of the wonderful things that you've been doing.
Oh wow.
I've been in training.
You're supposed to say you was playing with Bingo Star and Billy D. Williams and Richard Pryor on the Chitlin circuit. That's just
In training for what? I thought Inga had taken care of all of that. Years
No,
ago.
no. My business, business, financial services. So I'm doing the drills for skills to pay the bills.
That's cool.
All right.
That's it. Inga
Well, that
training.
you must do. Enough said. Enough said. Enough said.
Dana just went to a rap academy.
Look, I was just flowing. I got the music playing in the background.
for a rap academy.
You were just flowing. You were just flowing.
Hey,
You've been doing a little dancing on the side.
of course. I've been made my appearances in different places.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Dana, didn't you say something about you've been on a tour with your team?
Oh, softball tournaments.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we play tournaments a few weekends out the month.
What kind of team is it?
It's a 50 and over softball league.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. Will you all ever be coming to South Dade again? Because I think Ebony said that we will try to make it this time. That's why I'm
I
asking.
remember Ebony saying that. Something
Yeah.
about signs and stuff.
We had a,
Dana go.
look, we had a 9:00 game, and I say, well, we'll be there at 9. They're like, oh, that's too early. So yes, we do play at Tropical Park and Homestead Park,
Homestead.
but I was like, that's too early on a Saturday.
We'll do it together. If you're in Homestead, we can do that.
We'll make it a field trip.
We don't have to be there with the stars.
Right.
Right.
The
How
game
many
Takes a little
innings do
time.
you all play? 7 or 9?
play 7 or a run rule or hour and 15 minutes. But we usually play like 2, 3, 4 games.
Oh, see? So you
Yeah,
got
all day
the whole
show.
day. You
Thank
did
you.
the whole day. The whole day. You have to let us.
You would not know how to act if all of us showed up at your softball game.
Yeah, what?
Start showing out.
We're gonna
trying
do
to swing for
when
the
is
fence.
when is the next Homestead one?
I have to look at it. I gotta find out.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah,
let us know.
What colors do y'all wear?
Homestead, are you talking about Hart, Homestead Air Force Reserve Park?
Is that the one by the racetrack?
It's close to the Air Force Base.
Yeah, I think it is by the airfield. So.
Okay.
Okay.
By the airfield. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let us know, Dana.
Dana, what are y'all colors so we can coordinate?
Black and orange.
Oh, see? Okay.
Nice.
Everybody get our t-shirts. Get our t-shirts, girl.
Oh, yeah. What did we get that?
Green is there? Why not?
Yes.
Hey, Janae. What did we get?
Go ahead and coordinate.
Honey, remember that's how you called Janae. What did you call her?
Orange, black, and green. Yeah.
Janie is in the house.
All right, Miss Watkins, be careful.
No, I apologize for mispronouncing her name. Okay.
You did, I know, but inside of my body is tickled.
Yeah, don't get me in trouble with her. I don't want no problems.
It's tickled. It's tickled. All right, so Angela Yee, what's going on with Angela Yee?
She finally left the Breakfast Club.
Oh, she's gone, like just gone. Gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She has her own show.
No more rumor reports.
Yeah.
So is that her only show? The show where she only talks about sex the entire time? Is that the only show she has now?
I think Angela is starting her own podcast. From what I understand, yeah, it's her own show.
But that's what it was, because that's all I've ever heard it.
Right,
Belinda. Yeah, because
one or two other girls
that just interviewed Glorilla. I mean, we can't repeat what she said, but
I
pretty
missed that one.
explicit.
Oh, really?
The whole every show is explicit though, Ebony, right?
It was very a lie. I try to think of myself as being kind of liberal, but that was a bit much.
You also got to think about their demographic and the culture, though. That's, I mean,
yeah. You know, it's like sometimes stuff like that.
And all these, you know,
it makes you feel old, Roy. Yeah. It makes you feel old, like, ooh.
Is this the new thing?
Like what would my mama think about this?
I've seen it for the last couple of months, Avis.
Okay,
so I thought she was doing both.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do both because what she said the other day that this new show is coming on after the Breakfast Club, so maybe that keep PG in the day and then while out at night. I don't know.
That the show she has now cannot come on in the morning.
No.
Not from I don't know if that could come on radio. Can that not unless it's like Sirius XM or something?
You're right, Ebony.
Well, why are we putting limits on her when that's the type of world we live in?
No, I think that they were just answering my question when I
no. I'm not putting any limits on her. I just said personally for me. It was a lot for me.
I haven't seen another show that she's in. That's the only show I've seen her do. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting to see what else she is going to share with the public.
I also think this too. I think Angela Yee wants to come up from under, you know, both of the two guys too. And I'm gonna say this: there was times where I would watch the show. She would take a lot of heat from people, and unnecessarily heat, because I think, you know, they kind of, some of the guys or some of the rappers and stuff that would come on air would kind of go after her a little too much for my likeness, but. Yeah, she would take a lot of heat.
I would love to see you or hear your view of her current show. If you have a few moments.
Yeah, it's probably garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about what I saw. It's probably garbage.
I'm just saying. I'm not putting her down because it's her show. Right. Definitely a detour from what she's doing.
I think he was saying that it's something that is not for him. That's what he was saying. That's not for him.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the Breakfast Club wasn't for me. I would hear it just to kind of.
Let me tell you, I would get a little uncomfortable listening to the Breakfast.
Yeah, I used to like it for a minute, and then Charlemagne would just be doing too much, and I just be like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to hear about who's doing who, and I'm Gucci. I'm good.
And you know, and then that just means that we aged out of that demo.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I said earlier, just because I was like, you know, made you feel old and be like, ooh, what would my mama think?
Let's
Like when you saying stuff like that to yourself, you're like, yeah, I'm listening to the wrong thing, or I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, I was even listening to the radio. I think it was this morning, and I was like, wow. I don't really think I have anything that I could just default on. I find myself listening to, I think it's Joy 10 something. It's a HD gospel station, but like I'm not happy with any of it. But I never have been, because when I was started off in this market and I was working at 99 Jams, and then to me in my 20s, Hot was too old. I didn't feel like listening to Luther Vandross.
Right.
And WBR at nighttime, they were playing Luther Vandross. And I'm just like, where is the radio station for me? And then we moved. And then I found out that I think Luke had the show. Mm-hmm. But then by that time, I had kind of aged out of that. So then it was like, well, what am I supposed to be listening to? Because then 99 Jams and Hot 105 was still separate. Now you have the Beat, but the Beat more so competes with 99 Jams. Mm-hmm. So now you only have Hot 105 that's really supposed to be appealing to the Gen Xers. But it's almost like they're still trying to hold on to the baby boomers.
Mm-hmm. So they mix it up a lot more now. They really do. Hot 105, they mix it up a lot more now because they play a lot of stuff. Like they'll play like late 90s, a little early 2000s, like hip hop and stuff like that.
But the morning show, I think, is still trying to hold on to the different demographics from what Hot has.
Yeah, because it's Ricky Smiley.
Yeah, they're trying to hold on to.
I mean, y'all there's a station down there 92.7.
Yeah.
Decent. And then up here we got like 105.5 is like classic.
What's that? Country, Dana?
No, not yet. You know. I mean, look. Hey, Rod, I listen to what I'm not really trying to do. When I talk, yeah, yes, sir.
It was another station that I listened to today, which I was surprised about. It was Throwback 10. What is that station?
103.5.
103. I think it is 0.5. Oh, 103.5 HD3. That's what it is. It's a throwback, and I was very impressed. It was like a lot of music I don't hear on any other station, so you should try it.
Look, Kendrick, you trying to show us you a ventriloquist? What you doing? You got a little puppet on you.
What's going on over here?
What's going on?
Is that secret? You gotta see
how much eggnog do you have?
Kendrick's got a talent he don't want to tell us about. Go ahead and tell us.
This my new homeboy right here.
You got a puppet all on your knee. Go ahead. Hey, I'm Kendrick. I'm Santa Claus.
Is that a dancing Santa? What you got to say?
I want some of that eggnog.
Tell us about your new talent. You got a talent you want to share with us today? Show and tell, Kendrick. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm just chilling with my homeboy. You know, we just drinking, having good conversation. We cool over here.
He did say we. He did say we.
Is this what happens when your son goes away to college? Is this what happens to you?
And Kendrick was so excited. He just smiling.
That's my boy right here.
What's his name, Kendrick?
Oh, I love it, Kendrick.
What's going on over here?
Say it again.
What's his name?
Oh, this is Negro Claus.
Well, let me tell y'all about one year we were in Atlanta and our kids only knew about Black Santa Claus, right?
That's my brother-in-law right there.
And so Dallas, he was raised on a light-skinned Santa Claus. So we would go every year to the mall and they'd take pictures with Santa Claus,
Very
right?
sad story.
So one year, Santa Claus.
Because we moved here. You're absolutely
right. So one year we went back like 3 or 4 years later. Santa Claus was dark-skinned. Dallas was looking. He kept looking. He was looking at us. He looked at Santa. Looking. That's not Santa Claus. That's not Santa Claus. So we went to the guy. We were like, "What happened?" He's, "Oh yeah, I was on sabbatical. I just took my job back."
He took his job back.
That's right.
He reclaimed.
Bite. And then
let that be a lesson.
We haven't seen a Black Santa Claus since.
Wow.
Listen, I went to California, asked them about. There was a black lady standing there with an elf outfit, and I said, "Ma'am, y'all got black Santa Claus out here?" She said, she looked at me and I just busted up laughing.
That is funny.
Oh, well, we all could get ourselves a John Lewis.
Yes.
Is that not great?
I love it.
Awesome. Get in some good trouble.
Yes. Yes. Wow. So good. They had a nice Christmas run as well of stamps. If you haven't seen it.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question though. I really have a question. What happened to the Harriet Tubman 20? I'm still waiting on that.
Yeah, they said it was going to take a minute. When Dwight comes back, ask him.
That sounds about white. I like that answer.
Jessica's face. Oh gosh.
So now that we've lost our viewership,
no, we good over here.
Now that we've getting kicked off the air.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Thank you, Basil.
But staying on topic, the question really is, who is doing the hiring at schools?
Yeah, Delaware. Is that Delaware State?
Do I need to say it again?
It's not Delaware.
Repeat what I just said?
No, you're right. What school was that at?
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem. There you go.
Or is it Central?
No, Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem. Yeah.
Listen, it's Winston-Salem, right?
Winston-Salem.
Who? That's where? North Carolina?
Yeah. In Winston-Salem.
Salem.
Cigarette.
Who was in Salem? Who founded Salem?
Okay, you trying to connect dots here?
I was gonna say, what's going on?
I was trying to do it without saying the word because Jessica like cringes when I say.
No. This is a HBCU. This is a HBCU.
I understand.
And then the same thing happened at Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people online are saying that there's a certain type of relationship that Black people have with other Black people. When you send your child off to a HBCU, you are really under the assumption that there is a certain level of teaching that's going to be going on at those institutions that can either change the trajectory of your life into the right direction or the wrong direction. And I think that there's just this unknowing that you assume that the person who's going to be instructing your children look like you.
I'm going to push it past this teaching.
It's called culture. That's what it's called. It's called culture.
Relationships are developed.
Or some African guy that's trying to teach math and you can't understand. You wonder why you got a D in calculus.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, I watched the video. It was
I was upset.
That happened to me for physics.
Wait. It's a lot of great opinions. I didn't hear what you said, Belinda, nor did I hear what you said, Avis. Can you guys just repeat yourself?
I said, looking at the video, it looked like the teacher was just not connected with her class at all. It was like, I'm here to do my job. That's it. Versus the relationship that you establish when you're at HBCU.
100%.
And then what did you say, Belinda?
Ditto. Exactly what she said.
Okay, and then Ebony.
Belinda said ditto.
No, after Dana made his comment, I just said, that happened to me with physics. Not having a good grade, being taught physics by a professor who was of Indian descent from India. And had a very heavy accent, and it was just hard for me to comprehend. So it didn't turn out well for me.
And then I guess it would also be, it's not necessarily, it's a little even further than African descent, right? Because Dana, you said that your professor was African, right? Yeah. Mine was too, I can't even remember what type of science it was. But for my freshman year, I know it was over 100 people that sat in that lecture hall with me. and I'll never forget Dr. Uzo Chuko. I could not understand what he was saying, and I know I did not pass that class. I couldn't even understand what he was saying. But you know what? Dr. Uzo Chuko knew everybody's name in the class.
Yeah.
Over 100 students in there.
Relationships. Yeah.
He knew every student.
And you remember his name to this day.
Because let me tell you, there's one thing about me. When I am not excelling at something, it is a point in my life. Dr. Uzo Chuko, undergrad, graduate school, it's Dr. Fulton. The only time I got a B. That is the reason why I didn't get a 4.0. Not a happy day.
Yeah, we didn't get a 4.0 that year. Mm-hmm.
We didn't.
I think
I felt like I was going back to school with her, Belinda.
I think that was my problem too. That's why I didn't get
Avis,
well, you signed up for this, Roy, for better or for worse.
2 counseling sessions for Roy.
2, right?
I took my 1.5 and went to the Air Force.
There you go.
That's right.
I'm out.
There you go.
That's right.
No,
So what do you think went wrong with that?
I
The
think
situation that wasn't fair.
I think exactly what Avis and Belinda said. She does not connect with the Black community, so she does not understand. And I think that's where that's what went wrong. And I feel the same way about when we talk about policing our communities. And I think that's why we need to see us a lot more in our communities. Instead of having them, they just jump out, guns drawn, get your hands up. They don't even have conversations. They don't even put up like, what's going on? Like, let me hear your side. Let me hear what's going on. They just want to automatically jump out, guns drawn, shots fired, and we dead in the streets. Or we arrested on some.
It's a mindset.
Back off of that, having experience, 15 years experience in the classroom, it does. Like the theme in Miami-Dade County Public Schools for like the past 5-6 years has been building relationships. You must build relationships with these students. Okay. It's no longer really the days of, come in, sit down, be quiet, listen to what I have to say or what have you, because we have started to realize, it took us a long time, but we've started to realize that these kids, number one, are real human beings, right? And they have real issues. Right. They're going through things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't just start the class with a bell ringer. Sometimes a simple, hello, how you doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Do you need to talk? Or, let me, stay a few minutes after class and let me talk to you. Or, you know what I'm saying? Pull them out, pull them aside, have those sidebar conversations. Those are the things that make a difference. Because, I had, in my experience, I sat through several parent conferences, or team conferences where you have all of the teachers present that the student has. And, all the teachers are going around and they're saying, oh, yeah, I have such a hard time. And and I'm sitting there and I'm looking confused because I'm like, I've never seen this side of that student. You know what I'm saying? But why is that? Because of the relationship. Right. It's because, we have that connection. It's because I can talk to them. That child can talk to me. It's because, they tell me, listen, such and such happened last night. I couldn't do my homework. Okay, no problem. Bring it in tomorrow and I got you. It's those types of things because they are real human beings with real life issues and problems going on, and I often think back to my childhood and I'm like, half, not even half, 75, 80% of the things that these kids go through, I didn't have to worry about that stuff. I didn't have to worry about food insecurity. I didn't have to worry about where I was going to lay my head. I didn't have to worry about having clean clothes, but these are things that our kids are going through. Yeah. So you have to establish those relationships.
You're right.
I think on top of what you're saying, though, I think we live in an ultra sensitive society right now. These kids are much softer, I believe, as well.
That is true too.
I think that's part of it. I also think part of it is that these kids have to, you know, as we talk to our kids and our son especially, hey, you got to go communicate to this teacher and let that teacher know that, hey, here's some things I may or may not need some help with in your class. I think that's when you see teachers go out of their way to communicate and to help a child. I really feel for educators though too. I think that's the other part too, because you also got some parents that send their kids to school to get babysat. There's so many things I think that plays a role.
A lot of factors.
I also do understand this though. I think majority of us grew up in a time where our educators were black, our police officers were black, our principals were black, our APs were black.
Well, not for me at all. None of that.
For me, it was like that. And now here's the thing. And if I cut up before I can even get home, Mr. Drake is going to talk to my daddy because he played racquetball with him, right? We all knew each other. We lived in the community. That does not exist at this point in time where we all lived in the same community. We all taught. We knew who was who. We knew what family was what family. We knew the parents. We knew the kids. And you got a lot of just moving parts today, these kids. So, and I'm going to say this. Our kids today are no less, what's the word I want to use? Fearless. The way these kids are shooting up schools now.
That's just because they don't know coping mechanisms. They don't.
But the parents oftentimes
they haven't fought. They don't fall. I mean, they didn't have a fist fight at the end of class. And I mean, it's the difference in
times
having a conversation and a disagreement. They don't talk to each other. It seems as if there's a lot of things going on virtually versus talking it out.
Virtual beef. I'm fighting you because you said something about my auntie on Facebook.
Yes, but I do want to say also, and just sidebar, I don't know anyone that played racquetball until I was an adult. That's interesting. But I do want to say that a lot of my clients
I got a nice AW2 that day when I came on.
I do want to say, as a therapist, a lot of my clients are educators, and they are getting hit left and right. They're getting hit from students, they're getting hit from administration. Policies are hitting them very hard. They are trained, but then they're having to go back and be retrained on things they've already been trained on. The things that they want to be trained on and the things they want to invest in, they're not allowed to. And it's a struggle. And they're not getting paid. On top of all of that, they are actually not getting paid what they are worth. I always say teachers is the only occupation that touches every other occupation. You can't become who you are without going through a teacher. It doesn't happen.
You better say it.
We still don't pay our teachers. And so when I listen to them and what they're going through, and I'm not trying to justify what this teacher did at Winston-Salem, it was horrible. She has not been properly taught herself as to how to manage her classroom and the students in her class.
Yeah, because she didn't have a relationship with any of them.
Not one of them.
Well, here's the thing. Not only
was saying, she wasn't. When they were trying to advocate for the young lady, she wasn't even like, okay, this is my student. I trust the student. Blah blah blah. I'm going to listen to what they're saying. I'm going to back down. I'm going to rethink this whole thing. I'm going to ask this young lady to step outside and have a conversation. She didn't have a relationship with anyone in there.
Not one of them.
Well,
and didn't care to have one.
No,
well, true,
like,
but
I'm here from 12 o'clock to 2:30. That's it.
That's it.
Do what I tell you to do. Follow the rubric. That's it. Let's go.
Right.
That's all.
Well, I think minus the relationship. Say there's no relationship. You got to understand from a cultural perspective what type of environment you're walking into. Learn the culture, even if you ain't got the relationship, right? You can't just show up at the barbecue and think you about to walk away with a plate with some foil on it if you ain't cultivated yourself into that.
Well, I think what we're
but Roy,
the lady did not, I think, maybe make the connection that just because you're skilled to teach in an area, there's a level of
Everybody smile, look cute.
wife is just off.
When E.L. Putnam talk, everybody listen.
Oh my God.
Another intermission.
I was ready to finish, and then I look. I'm like, they're all waiting for me to finish.
Look, that's when I walk out the room. All right, I'll talk to you later.
You didn't tell us that we could leave, Roy.
You can't, but I can.
Compassion,
So I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so what were you saying? Kendrick?
Jessica, I totally agree with you, Jessica. The problem is, no, but she said that she didn't care. I totally agree with that. I think when you have a different culture that is not Black and brown, and they teach at HBCUs or even urban schools, whether it's elementary, middle, or high, they just there for a paycheck. They don't care what's going on. They really don't. So it showed in that video that she didn't give a darn about what was going on or how the young lady felt. She just felt like, oh, I was disrespected, this and that and the third. But what about what she was saying? Yeah. And then you call the police, and the problem that I had, it was another Black officer there, and I'm like, dude, so you're not gonna try to figure out what's going on? You just standing in the background and watching him do what he gonna do, and that's it.
Just escort her out the room. Why did she have to go in handcuffs?
Exactly.
Let me ask you this for those who saw the video. So you saw what happened from the beginning until the end. Do you think that the young lady would have done what she did if it was a Black teacher?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, let me just say this: if she did, that teacher would have checked her accordingly too, though.
Mm-hmm.
We all been checked by a Black teacher,
Exactly,
and they would have talked to you like they're your uncle or your auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I've been in situations that with a group of young people, I'm not a teacher, but in a classroom setting, and I only had like one or two that were having difficulties, and I've dismissed everybody but those one or two. We're going to shut this down right here. We're going to finish the class together. Everybody else go have a good time wherever you're going today. But just taking that time out with that one or two made all the difference in the world. It's about relationships.
I agree, Melinda. I think if it was a Black teacher, maybe she would have stepped out and talked to her in the hallway.
Should have stepped out.
I think it would have been a different level of respect from the young lady teacher. She would have respected her in a certain way. And I believe if it was a Black teacher, she would have respected that young lady in a different way as well.
Yeah.
Well,
one thing she said in that video was that it's been going, whatever the problem is, it's been going on all semester. And here we are at the end of the semester. The frustration is at top level.
Right.
Well, I'm going to add one more thing to it as well. That school has to take responsibility for that hire.
Yeah.
You knew exactly who you hired.
And the cops too.
And the cops, you knew exactly who you hired. You knew exactly what their intention. Listen, I don't want to say it's a bad hire because I don't know who the teacher is, but the reality of it is that if this teacher is saying that this has been an issue for quite some time and nothing's happened, don't you think the school has to take some responsibility? One, for that not doing something about it, but also the hire.
Mm-hmm. I will say too, though, to Kendrick's comment, while there may be a lot of them that are just there collecting a check, it's not all of them.
No, it's not.
Because I have witnessed, other persuasions that are really in it for the right reason for our kids. I have witnessed that with my own eyes. So I can't, I have to say that.
I was getting ready to say, Kendrick, are you saying 10%?
Like, come on, Malcolm X.
I'm giving
Everybody says I got to go back to my job.
Remember, no, it's not that. I mean, it's just true. If it wasn't something that I had witnessed with my own eyes, I wouldn't be speaking on it. So it's just the truth. And I believe that there's good and bad in all.
There are. I was
to say that every race, culture, religion, whatever, got good and bad. Period.
Yes.
I agree, but it's still more of them.
And I just want to also add though that I don't know if you're going to show this or not, Jessica, but Chris Paul, I think he's a basketball player. He just graduated from Winston-Salem.
He did.
He gave every graduate $2,500.
Right.
I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
That's
I
more
did
than
not
some of
know
y'all
that.
got when y'all graduated.
Like 2,500 more than
I
I got.
agree.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly $2,500 more. That's what I got.
Exactly.
So that reminds me of what Pinky
I got
Cole did
$40
in the
when I
graduating
graduated.
class at Clark Atlanta when
Right.
she incorporated all of their
Yes,
business.
LLC.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Mrs. Markins, what I want to know is the young lady didn't assault the teacher. What were the handcuffs for?
Yeah,
Because she
there were
was
people
talking. Because she was talking loud.
The people said that it was because she was trespassing, and then someone else said, well, "How can she trespass when she's paying to be there?"
And
Like-
when
Exactly.
yeah.
You
The whole,
paying to be in the
the whole
classroom.
situation, that's definitely going to be something that the university has to review and
policy
retrain
and
and,
procedure.
you know, go through a whole list of procedures with different people and departments because the
She
whole
can't
thing
teach
was
there
just
anymore
wrong.
though.
I also read that
Come back
the
on
lady,
Monday.
young lady, one of the young lady's parents is the district attorney.
Mm.
Oh Lord.
Well, there it
Oh
is.
Lord.
We gonna learn today.
Pick the
Listen,
wrong the blank with.
Mrs. Markins,
I mean,
Mrs.
you
Markins,
gotta-
when that story comes out, you need to go ahead and put that up on the big screen for us when it comes out.
Okay.
But here's the thing. This is a result of the school not taking responsibility of something that's been going on for quite some time.
Yes, absolutely. When you don't, you have to, being in these short few months as an administrator, that's one thing I can say you have to do. When there's an issue, you have to address it.
And
Because
taking
if
it
you
even
don't
further,
address-
the university is a business. So the
Yeah.
client, the customer said there's a problem.
Right,
Right.
exactly. You have to
You
address
have
it.
to address
You
it.
cannot, don't sit on it. Don't let it go for, no, you address it. You address those involved. You address, you know, whether it's a parent, like you say, that's unsatisfied, whether it's a child that's having an issue, whatever it is, a teacher,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you have to address it. Because when you don't address things, that's when they, as Belinda stated, they build up and now you have this big explosion. The student said this was going on the whole semester.
Mm.
You know, why has it not been addressed?
Address.
Well, one thing we know is that this is to be continued because this story will continue on. It's not the end. Earlier this week,
Oh,
Roy, your best friend graduated from that school too.
What?
Stephen A.
Don't get me started.
moving on.
Twitch.
yeah,
Let's talk about Twitch.
Yeah.
The main man.
I'm curious to see what Belinda's take is on this one.
Yes.
Well, once again, before we talk about anything like this, 988 is the number that anyone and everyone can call regarding feelings of suicide, harm to yourself or someone you know. And it's important that we continue this dialogue and continue to talk about what is going on in our community when people are harming themselves, they're hurting themselves, they're killing themselves. And don't stop having this conversation. Don't stop thinking about it as the days go by.
mm-hmm.
I don't have anything to say about what exactly occurred. That's how it happens. Someone can present themselves any way they want to on social media. Social media is a 1-second glimpse into your life. That's it. So whatever you're feeling on the inside, whatever's going on in your head, whatever thoughts you have, those things need to be discussed. And it's very important that we talk to each other and make sure that we know that we have support.
I heard something that was very interesting. They were saying how the number of Black men committing suicide, how it's increased tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. In the last 4 or 5 years, almost double as far as Black males. It used to be unheard of that Black people, period, would commit suicide. But now that we are more connected as far as social media is concerned and getting news immediately, we see that it's going on more and more and more.
Yes. I did hear one report. I don't know if it's true, that apparently he had, it was this morning. Source is the Ricky Smiley morning show, that he had like lost $1 million with the crypto.
FTX. Was it FTX?
I'm not exactly sure which cryptocurrency it was, but like he had invested a lot of money. I think the figure thrown out there was $1 million or somewhere close to that. So I don't know, if that may have, they were saying that may have contributed to, but that has been a whole big controversy going on now too, because FTX was our arena.
Right.
Now, no longer.
TMZ reported that was not true.
Oh, okay.
That it didn't have anything to do with any investments and any financial ruins. But they did say that there was a note left in the room of the hotel, and that a part of that note said, alluded to the fact that he just could not continue to deal with something like a mistake that he had made a while ago.
I'm curious to see what comes of it, because I also had heard another report, some stuff that Ellen knows, and Ellen and his wife know. And so I'm curious to see, from what I understood, he knew God. Ellen, his mama, and his wife know. And he said his mom really knew God, had a great relationship with God. And so I'm curious to see if his mother comes on and says some stuff as well.
Prayers to his family.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just know that whatever is going on, you do not have to take your life. We can work through. If you lost $1 million, if you made some significant mistake in life, something that can be worked through. You don't have to take your life.
What's the number again?
988. Suicide hotline 988.
I'm gonna say this too, and I'm gonna shut up after this. There's a lot of Black men hurting. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And a lot of times we hurt in silence.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree, because as a people, we've been conditioned. Well, men have been conditioned to do that. You're just supposed to be strong. You're not supposed to show your feelings. You're not supposed to, show signs of weakness. Because it's seen as a sign of weakness if you cry or if you, express your feelings.
Right.
And it's killing us.
Yeah,
it's killing us.
I like the fact that you said us, because I think as a race,
it's doing significant damage to us overall.
Yeah.
We need you, Black men, and we love you.
Ditto on that.
Basil, can we like
Please. A moment of silence.
Dana is snorting over there.
That's rough.
My first lady.
We was waiting on Jessica.
Forever first lady. I love her hair. Yes.
Hot girl.
Auntie. Yes, Auntie.
So what I understand, she had the internet going crazy.
Yeah.
Over her outfit. What did they say about her? I can't remember.
You said she was a hottie.
Yeah. It's a hot girl winner.
They were calling it a 90s hot look.
Where
was she going with this look?
She better do it.
Costume party.
What?
So,
I know you're not talking about the vice.
I know.
The president,
our first
lady. Yeah.
Like
Did
that.
somebody say Meg the Stallion? Are you all following the trial?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I heard that the best friend said she was pleading the fifth. But other than that,
on everything. What's your name? I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I think I did.
Hey, that's your best friend.
I know that purple pantsuit
No.
she had on day one was fire.
Melinda.
Yes.
the best friend got a whole lot to do with it. Ain't nobody talked about the best friend.
Oh no, they've been talking about the best
I'm
friend.
talking now, but I'm talking about prior to that. They were blaming Tori for a lot of stuff.
Oh, so you think the best friend did it? What?
Her best friend or his best friend?
Oh, yeah, y'all talking about-
They're trying to
best
say
friend.
her best friend, but if the
What?
best friend can turn it on to Tori, then she gets out of jail. She didn't have to have that.
No,
Her
she
best friend.
she testified. She didn't turn it on him. All she said was, "I can tell you that I didn't do it." And then they asked her, "Well, did you say so and so in your previous statement?" I don't remember.
Right. Because then they said that she had gunpowder residue on her hand.
And yes, and here's the thing: none was on him.
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
So are
did
they
you
still
see,
best friends?
did you see he had his little kid
Hey,
going to
Roy.
court with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
Roy.
does that?
What's that Biggie song? Who shot you?
Who brings a kid to court?
He did. He said his son was
On the
his
heartstrings of the
favorite,
jury.
his good friend, so he brought his son to court.
Let me
His
show
son
you
is his good friend.
daddy.
What a mama. Why she didn't say no, don't take my son to court.
Sympathy, Belinda,
Mama said she want to
sympathy.
keep her feet.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
it could be strategy too, Belinda.
Exactly. That's exactly what that was.
It
Sympathy.
could be strategy.
So that he's using his son.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm a good father. How could I shoot someone?
Anything
I
to
would
keep
never.
myself out of jail.
That little kid wasn't even born when it happened, was he?
But I'm a great father.
Dang.
I would never do anything like that.
How long ago was this shooting?
Look. There's no such
don't
thing as
matter.
a fair fight. There's nothing such thing as fair
Exactly.
fight. You
I
fight.
hear
It don't matter. It don't matter if he was born.
can't
I'm
keep
showing
me away
people
from
that
my
I'm a good
child.
daddy.
I got you. I got you. Okay.
That all they have to do is create reasonable doubt. Yeah. Did you guys hear what happened in the airport in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah. I posted it. Your homeboy.
Oh
Tell
yeah.
me,
Jessica
tell me what
homeboy.
happened.
You
Oh
did?
my
Jessica
gosh,
homeboy.
Jessica.
Jessica homeboy.
Stop.
I love that show. I love that show. That's such a
Right
good
now.
show. I just could not believe it. But the funny thing was, I cannot believe that what 50 Cent did. Did you see what 50 Cent did?
No.
No, what did he do?
When the charges came out, 50 Cent put a picture of him, of his mugshot, and he's smiling. And he said somebody forgot to tell Lil Meech cut. BMF permitted
Insane.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like
Stage
50.
left.
Listen,
That sounds like 50.
It's actually genius. It's genius.
genius.
It's
He
genius.
is top shelf petty.
He stayed in character the whole
It's not.
time.
No, listen. It may come off as petty, but it's genius. You put your eyes on your show at that point, and you took the situation and diffused it by making it a joke.
Yes.
Gangster.
He's promoting season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
he
sometimes
is.
stuff like that can happen. It'll kill your whole production, kill
Yeah.
your whole show and everything else.
Yes. Yes.
Not in this culture. We want more.
I think I'm Lil Meech, Larry Hoover.
All right, Kendrick, go
With the
ahead.
work. Hallelujah.
Get your sidekick, your hype man beside you.
I really hate that for him. I think it's what Belinda we talked about. I think it might be some trauma there. I don't even think. I know it's some trauma there. His daddy ain't been there for a long time, and it's just a sad story.
Well, other people are saying that it was intentional and a way to promote the show coming out on January the 6th.
A felony?
I'll be watching it.
Right.
A felony?
What kind of
I don't think I want a felony.
Through the airport.
I don't think I want
declare
a
it.
felony charge to.
Well, he didn't think it through.
Jeez.
Not at all.
He didn't think he was gonna get a felony, Kendrick. He didn't think it through.
We got to do
He
some
should've-
He didn't have the, what he didn't, Roy, is have the right lawyer.
That too. He listen. He's gonna
Because
be
you
fine.
got money like that. Because
He'll be fine.
any
fine.
other person of another persuasion with the same charge would not have a felony. Let me just.
But
let
Ebony,
that
what
rest.
if like a nice, maybe a little older lady was near him one day? It could have just reached out and said, son,
No, that
Belinda, you
older
can't
lady
even
needed
get
to
it out.
sleep the whole flight and not say a goddamn thing.
Son, I'm
How
here
about
for
that?
you. I'm with you.
Oh,
What can we
boy.
do?
I can't help
Belinda,
you. You
spirit
come
in
on
you.
smelling like
Jessica, that's your godson. I'm gonna need you to help your godson.
So Claudine Gay
God, son.
is Harvard's first Black president.
Haitian descent.
I saw that.
400 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
wonderful.
All
Congratulations.
right, Claudine. Good job.
Wonderful.
So I have a question to this topic.
Harvard. What about Harvard?
You see how we happy for her, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I already
But you see how you see how we do prime time though? See how we do Dion?
I was happy for prime time.
I'm not saying anybody on this panel. I'm talking about
Oh, you talking about as in general?
yeah. You see how we congratulate that?
But Belinda, I think that you gave the answer to this last week. And
Yeah.
what did you say it was?
I think that goes back to us feeling like we're family.
We
And
own
you
it. We
left
own them.
us.
We own them.
What'd you say, Roy?
But
We own them. How he get out the kitchen now?
left
He
us.
how
but
he
it's
in the house now?
oxymoronic though. It's oxymoronic.
How?
There's a big
No,
difference.
I
I'm-
I
it's
see your
because
perspective.
as
Kendrick. I do.
as what Joy Taylor said, we complain in everything with sports, with business, how there's not enough Black CEOs, there's not enough Black coaches in Division I, there's not enough Black head coaches in the NFL,
GMs, owners, go down the list.
owners, and all that. But here's a man who took Jackson State to 2 championships, and as soon as he leaves the HBCU and gets a job and takes coaches with him to get better pay and a better opportunity, the Black community bashes him. But here's a lady who goes and she's the first, the president of Harvard, first black female, and everybody's.
Well, Kendrick, I think I said this last week that there is the opportunity for you to have 2 feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
One, to be disappointed that he left Jackson State, and then another to be happy that he has elevated his career. You can have the same feelings at the same time. Now, bashing him, I can't subscribe to that. I can't even subscribe to
But that's what I'm talking about, Jess. I'm talking about the bashing.
Stop a show. That's just ridiculous.
I think
I'm
the
talking about the
majority
bashing.
of feelings. I saw some bashing, but most people were like, "Congratulations," and then that feeling of, "Oh, we wanted you to stay a little bit longer, but we understand why you moved on," and how that also is making a difference because he's bringing in coaches, so they have head coaching opportunities along the way as well. So
I'm
it's
with you,
still going to
Avis.
continue some of the way.
Yeah,
I
he said
felt-
something. He
I
said
felt
something
just
very,
like that.
very interesting in one of his interviews. He says, I've had coaches with me since Little League, and they've come through me since Little League. They came with me in high school. They're here at Jackson State. He says, do you realize in a couple of years, those same head coaches are going to be millionaires? And I was like, God, he is. I don't want to say quietly, but he's moving the needle without us really see. Dion's one of those, what Jesus would always say, hey, I'm going to do something, but don't tell nobody. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
LeBron did it with his people and nobody talks about it. So
100%.
he took his crew with him. Everybody swept it under the rug.
Right.
But we taught to do that. We taught to be hypocritical of each other, and that's the bad part about it.
You
Jerry
absolutely
Jones
right,
did it with his
Taylor.
people.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, kudos to the sister, though. We got to give her a shout out.
Oh, I'm very happy.
That's a
I'm
huge
very
feat.
happy
It's
for
a
her.
huge feat, and we got to be happy for her, though, without a question.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that happens with us. Now that she's in Harvard, we think every Black student's supposed to go to Harvard now. That's where the problem is.
Nah, diggity.
The Black enrollment is going to be higher at Harvard.
Hey, but you know what, Roy? You know what, Roy? That was probably Harvard's strategy too. I guarantee it.
Nah, I doubt it. They
I
don't.
guarantee you.
The new mayor for Los Angeles, she also is the first woman, I believe, and second Black to be mayor of Los Angeles.
Did you say he is the first woman?
She.
Oh, I thought you
Oh.
said he.
She did.
I was about to say.
I heard he too. I heard it too.
Say Kendrick.
You heard it too, Belinda? Okay, that's what I knew she said he.
Let her do her thing though, Kendrick. Let her do her thing.
You did say he.
Crazy.
You
I did
did
not
say
say
he.
Kendrick, why are you asking so many questions? You're supposed to answer, not ask questions, Kendrick.
No, that was confusing, Roy.
I
That
thought it was
threw me
gonna be a
off.
trans. I thought it was gonna be a trans mayor.
I did.
Right.
I'm ready for it.
Oh gosh,
It's 3-1.
Who is the third person?
Avis.
Avis did not say she heard me say he.
She heard he.
He
was
didn't
gonna
say
laugh
it.
at
but
that.
Look,
She
she
didn't
didn't
say
say
it. She heard it. That's why you think she laughing. She heard it.
Look at the Dana.
What happened to Kendrick? What happened to Kendrick?
He just lost his basement rights.
Why did you do that to Kendrick, Jessica? That's
Wow,
not
what
nice.
happened? I don't know what happened to Kendrick.
Just,
He's hanging out with Negro
just
Floss.
cutting him off because he
Ebony,
said
you know,
things.
Ebony barely gives him internet down in the basement. You know that.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. See, and something happened to Ebony's.
He pulled the plug. He said, "You can't. I can't be the one."
I go, she goes.
We gotta stop.
Oh Lord, Basil,
Casey, let me see you.
I got to go to my meeting. I'll see y'all later.